Well, where have you lot been? Anyway, well, you've been having fun doing whatever it is you're doing. I'm still slaving it away. So we're doing something different, obviously, on the lathe. So what I'm making up is a little spacer. So the spacer, I've already parted off the spacer. So it started from a bigger piece like this. And then I just bored it out to the size I want. Now, the issue I'm having, which I'll show you, is on the brake spindle. Anyone who knows with the Holdens, when you run the, now this is my theory, I'm pretty sure this is what's going on. When you have the Holdens, you have to have a spacer because those Leyland P76 rotors are 5mm narrow. So they, sorry, I'm just concentrating. So the rotor sits further back. So where you put the split pin, when you put the nut on, you have the split pin. There's a good 7mm gap. So what I'm doing now, so I've made up the spacer. So what I'm doing now is, now I would have parted these off pretty close to the money. And the reason it didn't happen like that was the parting tool I've got are crap, absolute cheap junk. So I got to go out and buy some quality parting tools, but I'm not on the lathe all the time. So which I should get onto the lathe. Yeah, I mean, and I should get on and do that. So I don't know if you can see it or not, but there's little cutout grooves in these jaws, right? This is a 3-jaw chuck. Now each one has got a little V-cut, and it goes along to a flat V-cut, V-cut. So I've lined up the shoulder of the edge of the V-cut before it goes in. So just to keep this plumb, because I don't want this to have a wobble. And the reason I don't want it to have a wobble, I mean, there might be a very fraction sort of slight wobble in there because doing it this way, but because I'll be facing this off. As you can see, it's quite rough, and so I'm trying to keep the back as true as possible on those V-cuts, lining it up. The other way is you could put something in there and you know, so you tap against it and you're nice and flush against that face. The problem is I don't have anything like that. Normally when you're in a tool shop, there's bits of steel floating around all the time, so I don't have all that sort of options at the moment. But anywho, that'll do me. So I'm going to nip it up, make sure she don't fling off. Now, because these cutters are very cheap, very nasty, it was my fault. I sort of got into a bit of a jam and I thought I needed it. And I don't know if you guys are going to get too close to the damn job. Yeah, put you back about here somewhere. Maybe. So this guy's the cutter. Now, because I got a cheap cutter, I just keep the speeds down. It's not a very high grade steel, these things, so they make the perfect sort of spacer. And yeah, so I don't do a lot of heavy cuts, so you won't be seeing a lot of swarf flying off. And we shall see how we go. You guys are right in the thick of it there. Okay. So you can see I've got cutting compound on the top of that cutter, just so I can prolong the life a bit, because they're supposed to be tungsten. They're not tungsten, whatever they are, tungsten steel is very strong. So you can see I'm facing off. That's what they call facing off. Making the face very flush. But I'm actually cutting, so I'm taking away. I purposely made it bigger just for this reason. All right, time for a measure up, a loose measure up. I'm sort of chasing around 7.5. Yeah, it's just about 8, I think. And I'll show you what this is all about when I get onto the other side of things. These are called verniers. Vernier. Must have been a bloke, vernier. Put a little bit more onto the job, just to prolong my cutters. Gets very tricky, this sort of stuff, because I'm getting there's a few things you got to watch, because I've got spaces to build. The idea of the cutter has got to be halfway through the job. I think I'm probably just slightly under, but you got to see I've got spaces to build this up, so you've got to make sure they clear the chuck. As you see, I'm getting close to the chuck, the jaws of the chuck, I should say. Where'd you put them? You know, the thing about doing this, it is very time consuming. Now, CNC stuff, you program the computer, whammo it. But, you know, when you're doing like one-off sort of stuff like this, I think this might actually do me. Yeah, I think that's sweet. 7.5, just under 7.4. Take the job out. we used to have this brilliant thing. I should actually make one because it's just out of a file, and it was actually triangular shape. And so what's happened there from facing off, it's left a little burr on the inside. And so I am going to have to do it the cheapo way. So this thing was like a triangular shape. It used to be about this long. It was actually a very small file. It was grind down. And you would run the machine and put the triangular shape, and I'll actually cut that burr off and give you a nice little taper. Old school engineering. Bit primitive, but as long as it takes that burr off, that's what I care about. That's what I care about. Well, I think that's us, and I'll show you the next setup that I'm going to do and show you what it's all about.